BMW R12 GS rear rack combo. This consists of a rear rack and then the right side and a left side grab handle. And so the supplied hardware, two M8x45mm long bolts plus washers, two M8x40s plus washers, and then two long and two short spacers. So the way it's laid out is how you're going to put them in. The long bolts will go through the rear holes with the long spacers, and the short bolts will go through the front holes with the short spacers. And then we also have four M8x20mm long tapered Allen bolts with washer and nut on each of them. I'm going to be using some tools here, and it's a flathead screwdriver, a 13mm wrench or spanner, extension and ratchet, and then T4 Torx bit, and then a 5 and a 6mm Allen socket. So the first thing you'll have to do is pop these out gently. You can push on them a little bit if you want to, or pry them gently. Just don't want to puncture this grommet, and just pull them out. So one on each side. And then with the T40 Torx and a ratchet, remove the bolts from here and these little brackets. You can start with either of them, doesn't matter. And I would also recommend that you use some blue medium strength Loctite on the M8 socket head bolts. So, oops, don't do it like I did. Just a dab. Look at the mess I made here. Okay, so I have the right side grab handle in my hand. I'm gonna put the longer bolt through the rear hole, like so, and then the longer spacer on top. Put it in place very nicely, and just hand thread that bolt. You definitely don't need any tools here at this point. Just make sure that it's all clean. There's no dirt and dust in any of them, because that can interfere with the bolt freely threading in. And I'm gonna move to the front end, bolt through, and then spacer, like so. So you don't need to keep it like this loose. You don't want it to sag so much. So you can go ahead and turn those bolts a few more times. This is good enough. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the very same steps on the left-hand side, no difference whatsoever. And just remember that blue Loctite is very important on this. As you can see, I have plenty of blue Loctite on all bolts. So now, very same. So long bolt, long spacer at the back, and just hand thread that in, like so. Okay, and then a front bolt, short spacer. Sometimes you need to wiggle the structure a little bit. That's why we fit the parts loosely. And then you can pull them snug a little bit, just enough that there's still some play to it, both sides. Next, you can go ahead with the tapered Allen bolts, and you can put them in place one by one. Okay, so washer and the nylock nut, put it in place. Just spin them on, all four. Okay, so when it's all in place, you can see I can still shake it and rattle the structure, which is just gonna make it, the installation, that much easier for you as well if you follow these steps. And then you can go ahead and gradually tighten each bolt and nut as you go around, and then you can do one more final torquing. Again, going around, you can pick your direction, start from the back to the front, or going around clockwise, counterclockwise. That is irrelevant as long as you do them nice and gradually, because you don't want too much tension on one side and then nothing on this side. That's how we recommend it. So the torque specs for M8 bolts are 23 Newton meters. However, you have to be careful. Make sure that your torque wrench is calibrated, because that can do some damage. So that is your responsibility, but that's the torque spec for M8 bolts. Should you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us via email, info@outbackmotortek.com, or you can call toll-free 877-931-3636. Thank you for watching.